Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome to Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. Glad to have you with us today. We are going to have, one of the things we try to do with Valley Talk is to try to keep the show fairly fluid. And that is, if there's something going on in the news, we try to schedule the show around, try to move the existing guests we have around, which is what we're doing today. On occasion, when we do that, we have topics that don't kind of what we call in the radio business segue, which means go one right into the other. So what we're going to be talking about today on the show is several topics. We have Maria Delapoer, superintendent of the Albany School District, on the phone. We're going to be talking about what's going on at the schools. Well, we turn that off. What's going on at the schools after this 17-year-old Grant Accord student has been arrested and charged with a number of things: aggravated and attempted murder, attempted arson, 6 counts of unlawful use of a weapon, and possession and manufacturing of destructive devices. Evidence that police have obtained indicate that he was plotting to attack the school with a bomb attack and murder students. We're not going to talk about this case specifically, but we're going to be talking to Maria Delapoer about what's going on at the school now, lessons we've learned from this particular case, and some other things that we'll be talking to Maria about. We're going to be talking about the Strawberry Festival. We're also going to be talking about gas prices. About 11:30 this morning, we'll be visiting with Jamie Kate about the coronation of the Strawberry Court. And then also we'll be talking about D-Day, Normandy, June 6th. We're going to be doing a live Valley Talk show from the American Legion Post 10 in Albany. If you're a World War II veteran, especially if you were at the Normandy invasion, we would like to have you as a guest on that show. You can contact me by calling Dave or emailing me, Dave at KGAL.com, or if you want, call me on my cell, 541-280-8833, 541-280-8833. Our plans are as well to the D-Day show will be streamed with live video on my veterans website, operationeagleswings.us. And looking forward to doing that show and looking forward to visiting with veterans. So, a lot going on in Valley Talk today. Thank you for being with us. Let's get to the program. Maria Delapoer is live with us on the telephone, superintendent of the Albany Schools. Maria, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
So what is the mood of the schools today after the arrest of Grant Accord, and what's going on today?
Well, kids are back in class and finishing up the school year with finals and activities. I would say that they're still in somewhat of a state of shock that this could happen in such a close location, and saddened for all of those involved. But I also believe they feel safe and supported, and very fortunate that no tragedy actually took place.
Are there counselors on duty, maybe possibly extra counselors to talk to students if they need to?
We have several school counselors there, as well as members from our social services arm of the district that are available for students or staff who need to talk to somebody.
Now, what did we learn in this case? In this case in particular, now we're not going to talk about details of Grant Accord's arrest or what was found, but he was arrested after someone heard him say, or allegations that he was possibly thinking of an attack. So I guess one of the lessons we learned is if you hear something, to tell authorities. Is that correct?
Tell authorities, or tell a parent, or tell a trusted adult, and that really is the key here, is that we try to develop those relationships with our students so that they will come to us when they have concerns. And even if it's something that checks out not to be anything at all, we would prefer that they come to us so that we can make sure that we have followed up on everything that comes to light. And so in this case, the system worked, and the student did come forward, in this case to a parent, and the parent could tell that the student was something was wrong, and the behavior was out of character for him, and he was afraid to go to school. So that triggered the information coming forward, and then Albany police were able to respond immediately and thoroughly. So it's something that we want to encourage students and parents and staff to do, is keep an eye on how students are feeling and seek them out if something needs to be addressed.
And one of the things, especially with kids this age, the hormones are raging. They might get into a fight. They might say something just in a fit of anger, and they don't have any intent of carrying it out. And so every time you hear, a fight going on in the hallway, not that there's lots of them, but sometimes somebody might say something in a fit of anger, and they're not really intending to do something. It's kind of hard sometimes to tell the difference. I guess I'd like to talk about that a little bit.
Sure, and one of the things that we have learned to deal with lately is exchanges over the internet or through social media, where some of that kind of exchange is carried out rather than verbally or physically, and so we try to teach students the character education traits that this district has worked on for many years, and to treat each other with respect. If information does seem to be credible and leading in a direction that could cause harm to others or to students themselves, we certainly will follow up on it. And every single time we'll follow up on it just to make sure that everyone is safe.
Sure. So I guess if you even have a question, what the police are telling me is, if you have even if there's a doubt or a question, just to tell someone.
Right. My experience when I was a principal was that they never were unhappy if I called them for their help. They are always ready to respond. They always want to be available. They always will follow up on any information that we give them, and they take it seriously as well. So I feel very fortunate to have the police department and law enforcement agents that we have in this community.
So is there a committee that is tasked with emergency response or school violence or bullying or something like that in the Albany School District, and what's going on there?
Well, with the bullying, we do have curriculum in our schools around character education, and that's something that we work directly through staff with students on. After the tragedy with the school shooting in Connecticut this December, we pulled together a school safety task force to look at our policies and our procedures, our practices around lockdown drills, our communication, as well as working with local mental health agencies as students potentially need additional resources. And so that group has been meeting all spring, and they have made recommendations to me for consideration for making some changes or enhancing school security. And so we're in the process of making some of those decisions, but I've asked them to reconvene hopefully next week and take a look at this particular circumstance and see if there are some other things that we could do. And it has parents, community members, as well as school staff, law enforcement, and mental health are all on this committee. So it's a pretty good cross-section, and we want to look at this issue from all lenses to make sure that we haven't missed anything.
What about communication to the public when things like this happen? Email, there's so many ways,
right.
Twitter, Facebook, so on and so forth.
Well, and that's one of the things that we have learned is that our current communication system is not always adequate or timely. So getting timely and accurate information out to the community and to parents is a challenge. And we have, to some degree, relied on email, although those email addresses can go out of date fairly quickly, we have discovered, as well as not everybody has that information or sees it on a regular basis. So we will be enhancing our communication systems, both internally and externally, to make sure that people know what's going on and that we're taking care of things.
So what's changed today? I think there's probably a few more police officers on the campus.
Well, we always have. Our school resource officers are always on our campuses just as a regular part of our school community, but there is a heightened police presence, and if, I think that makes people feel more secure, and certainly it does me, and we appreciate the extra time and effort they're devoting to keeping an eye on things and being available if someone comes forward with any kind of information that needs to be investigated.
What about events, graduation, sporting events? Anything changed or altered in any way?
Not at this point. I think we'll continue to have. We always have security at those events, and we will continue to do that. I'll probably ask Chief Ed Boyd to up the numbers, if at all possible, just to make sure that people we have lots of eyes being vigilant on what's going on.
Maria, anything you'd like to add in closing?
Well, I just really appreciate the student who came forward. That was a difficult thing to do, and there's lots of peer pressure to not do those kinds of things. But he is certainly a role model to other students who find themselves in a similar situation, and to the family of the student, who should be very proud of him, and who are also involved in getting the information to the right people who could to make sure that our students were kept safe.
Okay, that student, I guess that was Truman Templeton.
That's right. Yep, I got to meet him and his parents yesterday morning, and thank him personally.
All right. Maria, thank you for all you do to keep our kids safe. Thanks to the Albany Police Department. And just have a good day. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day and visiting with us on Valley Talk.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Valley Talk, and we're going to change gears here. First of all, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to talk about something a lot more pleasant, and that is the Lebanon Strawberry Festival. We'll do that. We'll talk about the parade. In fact, once again this year, we're going to be streaming it live with video on the internet, and we'll be talking about that. Also about other things happening in the parade. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, Mother Nature will grace us with sunshine, and that would be nice. We'll be talking more about that on Valley Talk in just a moment.
Is your home or business in need of a fresh coat of paint? Now is the time to call Halcyon Painting. Halcyon Painting will give you a written estimate. They'll stick to it, and they guarantee their work. At Halcyon, the job isn't done until you're satisfied. Call Halcyon Painting today, 752-7251. Call Halcyon Painting today, 752-7251.
Halcyon Painting will prove it to you what makes your paint job better. We do.
Call me now, 541-752-7251.
Another fun event is coming up at the Mennonite Village, and you are invited. The McManus Comedies, featuring A Fine and Pleasant Misery, written by Patrick McManus and performed by Tim Behrens, will be presented July 26th at 7 p.m. The side-splitting one-man show introduces 12 zany McManus characters, from Rancid Crabtree to daft old Mrs. Swisher, from Strange the Dog to a deer on a bicycle. The McManus Comedies are family-friendly, hilarious stories about growing up in rural America. He is one of the most popular authors in the country, where his 23 titles have sold more than 6 million copies, and 5 of his collections of short humor have made the top 10 on the New York Times bestseller list. Yes, indeed, it promises to be a fun evening on the 26th of July, 7 p.m. in the Oak Creek Christian Center, just south of the Mennonite Village campus on Columbus Street in Albany. $15 tickets are available online at MennoniteVillage.org. Information is available by calling Whitney Olson at 541-704-4247.
What do you expect to accomplish this year? Whatever the task, it's easier with the top-selling subcompact tractor, the Kubota BX70 from Lynn Benton Tractor. And now during Kubota's Great Expectation sales event, you'll not only get a great deal on the BX70, you can expect great versatility, performance-matched implements, and great value. Raise your expectations with a new Kubota BX70, now with financing as low as 0% APR. There's a BX Series model for you at Lynn Benton Tractor on McLean Street in Silverton or on Highway 99 East, Tangent.
This is Rich Abers, Service Manager of Power Buick GMC, and I'm here to tell you that not only is Power Buick GMC the #1 local dealership to purchase a new or used vehicle, we are your General Motors service headquarters. Our GM-trained and ASE-certified technicians service Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Saturn vehicles, in or out of warranty. Extended warranties, no problem. Cars not GM built, no problem.
Call Power today at 541-757-1415 on the corner of 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis.
The Lebanon Optimist Club invites you to come on out and have some breakfast during their Optimist Pancake Breakfast 2013, this Saturday, June 1st, at Bing's Kitchen Parking Lot. Hi, I'm the M&M Kid Mike Mason, and I'll be broadcasting live on K-Show Radio from 6 till 9 a.m. and giving away some great prizes. So come on out to the breakfast at Bing's Kitchen Parking Lot at 2416 Santiam Highway in Lebanon. $6 per person, $3 under 12, and uniform military. Sponsored by the Lebanon Optimist Club. Smells great. See you there. Want to really know more? Just point, click, and learn from the Mid-Valley's best website, KGAL.com.
Welcome back to Valley Talk. Let's switch gears, talk about something a whole lot more fun. Let's talk about a parade. Everybody loves a parade, especially when the sun is shining. If we could move the microphone over there and talk to Bobby Birch. Bobby, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk, and move that right in front of you.
All right.
Thank you for being with us on the show.
No problem.
Let's talk about the parade this year. How many entries?
At this point, we have 2 days left, and I have 107.
Interesting theme this year for the parade. Yes. Knights of the Round Table?
Strawberries of the Round
Table.
Yes. So we're going to see a lot of knights, a lot of dragons, a lot of damsels in distress. That's what I'm getting off the entry forms so far. It's a lot of that.
One of the things that's always impressed me about the Strawberry Festival Parade is for a community the size of Lebanon, it's a long parade.
It is. A lot depends on the theme. If the theme's a really easy one to decorate for, it's bigger than normal. This one's a little smaller than I normally have, but I still have 2 days, so it could grow. So
how many entries were in the parade last year?
I had roughly 140.
And what are we looking at this year?
I would say close to 130 by the time we're all done. Yeah.
Anything different this year?
I have a band coming from Banks, Oregon. I'm excited for that. And then we also have the drum line from Western Oregon University coming over. So that one, I'm really excited about that one. Some of the entries, like Gateway, theirs is going to be really cool when you see it. I'm not going to give out any surprises, but I have seen pictures.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty neat.
Everybody loves a parade.
Yes. I've got my clowns, I've got my bands, I've got my pooper scoopers. We're good to go.
Okay. Now's your chance to tell people. If there's something you could tell folks, every time we do the parade, we want you to do this. What would it be?
Not run out into the street. Keep a handle on your kids. We don't want the kids running out and getting hurt. And maybe police up your area when you're done.
Can they throw candy?
They cannot throw candy from their vehicles. They can, however, walk alongside their entries and gently toss them to the crowd. We don't want kids getting hurt because, that would kind of put a damper on the day's events.
Yeah. Are you still taking entries?
Yes, I am taking entries until Thursday evening.
Any categories you're really looking for entries in? If somebody's is kind of teeter-tottering about whether to get involved? More bands, more horses, more pooper scoopers? What do you need?
Let's see. What do I need? I need some large business.
Some large businesses?
Large business. Over 15 employees.
Okay.
That is the one that I scramble every year to get.
So if you're a large business, you've got a few days left. So you got, 3 days?
2.
2 days.
Today and tomorrow.
To build a float.
Yes. I think I've
Get on it.
Yep, get on it.
How many years have you been doing the parade?
This is my 18th year.
You've been chairperson?
Chairperson.
Of this event for 18 years?
Yes.
How's it changed in 18 years?
Volunteers.
It's become bigger, hasn't it?
The parade has, yes. I'm running out of space in the area that we're staging at this year. We had hoped to move to the Walmart parking lot, but there was a snafu with ODOT, so we had to revert back to the River Center and Market Street, which I know is an inconvenience for those businesses, but at the same time, they have a captive audience in that parking lot. They could make some good money if they use their noodle. Other than that, just the different themes.
What's the hardest thing in putting on a parade like this?
Making sure that you don't have horses near bands and bands near other entries that have music. It's just trying to make it a variety so you don't have everything all clumped together and kind of spreading it out.
What's the weather forecast?
Sunny, no rain.
Kind of like right now. It's sunny outside right now.
But there is 0% chance of rain. I've already started my sun dance. We're not going to have a rain on my parade.
No. Last year it was drizzling a little bit, little cool.
But if
not
you
too
noticed,
bad.
At 11 o'clock when the parade started, the rain stopped.
That's true. Did you have anything to do with that?
Of course I did.
Oh.
It's all them sun dances I do.
Sun dances. Okay. Like a sundial, only a sun dance.
Yes, we do the sun dance.
Not a rain dance, but a sun dance. I didn't know there was a sun dance.
Well, I invented it.
Oh, you did a good job. Patent that puppy. And,
I'm trying.
There you go. just don't do it too much.
Well, no,
because
just around the parade. We still need that rain to keep it green around here.
We don't want to start a drought.
No.
Okay. So if people have entries at the last minute, is there a fee, and who do they contact?
There's a fee. They can contact me. My number is 541-905-0792. There is, however, a late fee after yesterday. So anything from today on, there's an extra $10 tacked on. Just kind of encourage people to get it in early because I start working on the lineup. So I've got to juggle when I get new entries come in. But they do take them at the Chamber of Commerce in Lebanon.
Do you have any idea how many people come to Lebanon to watch the Strawberry Parade?
Several thousand. It's Friday when I start setting up. Friday morning, we have chairs sitting in front of Sherry's, and in that Bi-Mart area, there are chairs Friday morning.
And the parade's Saturday at 11.
The parade is Saturday. It's almost like it's Rose Festival fighting for the best spot to sit to watch the parade.
Did anybody camp out overnight?
No, I haven't seen anybody camp out. I just see them put their chairs out, and so far I haven't noticed anybody going through and swiping them, because there are some pretty nice chairs out there.
Any lounges?
No,
Okay.
just the lawn chairs and camp chairs and stuff, but nothing too extravagant.
Route's the same?
Yes, route is the same. Starts at the River Center parking lot, goes up north, goes north on Main and turns there on Rose Street and disbands.
Now, as we mentioned a moment ago, this is one of the larger parades for a community this size. Why is it so large? I love a parade. I love to watch all the entries, but it was amazing to me that it was so long and a lot of community involvement.
It's something, it's a small community. Everybody knows everybody. It's something that happens every year, and everybody wants to be a part of it. When I was a kid, I did the parade in the bands and stuff. So, it's just second nature.
And 18 years, you're still involved and looking forward to it? Going to be involved next year?
Probably.
Just something you enjoy doing?
For the most part. I have my moments where I just want to quit, and then I take a deep breath and, okay, let's try this again.
What do you enjoy most about being the parade chairperson?
Just seeing the behind the scenes. That is I would rather be in the parking lot telling people, this is your turn to go, and rather than sit on the sidewalk and watch. It's interesting to watch it being built, because a lot of them bring their stuff and they decorate right there in the parking lot. So that's the best part.
All right. Again, contact information, last minute entries, last minute questions.
My cell phone's best way to catch me, 541-905-0792.
905-0792.
Yep.
Bring a lawn chair, bring a smile.
Bring sunscreen. It's going to be sunny.
She's done her Sundance.
Yes.
So it will be a good day. In fact, it looks like we're already getting the results of that now. It's sunny outside. Anything you'd like to add in closing? We're going to talk to Jamie Kate here in a minute. The coronation is tonight. Now, at the world's largest strawberry shortcake.
Yes.
Is that part of the parade procession?
That will be at the beginning of the parade, so that it can make its route through the parade and get back to the site in time to be served to the community.
Can I eat off it as it's driving by?
No, you can't eat off of it. It's wrapped up.
Oh.
And the strawberrians, they guard it. Them red coats,
Oh, boy. And we are going to be streaming it live once again, and there's going to be a number of websites that we're going to be doing it. We're still working on the details of that. Our looks like hopefully now we'll be able to do it on KGAL.com, of course, OregonPulseNetwork.com, and those are the two websites we know for sure, but we'll have some more information out there.
We can post it on our Facebook page.
Okay, looking forward to doing that. And it will be free to watch and free to watch after the parade. So if you want to go home and see what you look like, you can do that.
Yes.
Bobby, thank you for all you do. Is there anything you want to tell us in closing?
Just come out, have fun, enjoy the day.
Everybody loves a parade, especially the Strawberry Parade in Lebanon.
Yes.
In a moment, we're going to be talking to Jamie Kate, if we can get her on the line, about the coronation that's happening tonight at 7 o'clock, and we will do that here in just a moment. We're going to take a short break and be right back on Valley Talk.
The Osgood File. This is Dave Ross, and for Charles Osgood.
I was sent to one place. That was a execution place.
He witnessed Cambodia's killing fields in person.
A place where they kill people every day.
And this month, 25 years after first telling his story, he's still playing the instrument that saved him. More after this.
Hi folks, Jay Farner here, president of Quicken Loans. We're thrilled to have helped over 125,000 homeowners save money by refinancing with HARP. But there are millions more of you who could be saving big money on your home loans by getting HARPed. With HARP, you may be able to refinance with Quicken Loans even if your home has lost value. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you get HARPed and start saving. Or if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, give us a call today at 800-QUICKEN. And for 3 years in a row now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Once again, if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, or if you owe more than your home is worth, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit jdpower.com. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Arn Chorn was captured by Cambodia's Khmer Rouge guerrillas as a boy. His parents ran an opera company, something which the communists considered worthless, so his parents, along with his brother and sister, were executed. But his captors spared him because they liked to hear him play the flute.
I was forced to play for the Khmer Rouge. If I made any mistake, I would have been killed.
He was finally rescued from a refugee camp by UN volunteer Peter Pond and his wife Shirley, who raised him in New Hampshire. But he couldn't shake the past.
Thinking about all of this, losing my little brother, my little sisters, you have no reason to live for.
But he found a reason to live. Arn Chorn Pond started giving speeches to raise money for Cambodian Living Arts, which supports musicians who survived the killing fields. And as part of a Cambodian festival in New York this month, Arn was reunited on the stage at Lincoln Center with the master who taught him how to play. He spoke with CBS's Anthony Mason.
It must have been a pretty extraordinary moment for you.
Yes. A lifelong come true for me.
You said that you were trying to make peace with your past. Has this done that?
I'm still hurt for what happened. I can't bring my sister, my little brother back that I love. I can't bring them back. What I do to heal myself is to keep working, be active. My dream is to have children all over the world, beyond Cambodians. Every child can carry musical instruments and not guns. Why not?
The Osgood File. Dave Ross on the CBS Radio Network.
Classic rock group Kansas. Live in concert at the Lynn County Fair in Albany. Thursday, July 18th. Limited reserve seating is just $15 plus fair admission. Kansas, live. Go online to lynncountyfair.com to purchase your tickets today.
Excuse me, sir.
Hi, what do you need?
Pants in a 44 waist?
Looking for something lace?
No, a 44 waist?
A shoelace?
I need a 44 waist.
We don't carry that size.
What? I want a prize?
No.
Stop shopping in no man's land. There's a better way for bigger men to find clothes. Now open. Visit DestinationXL.com to find a store near you. Destination XL. Big on being better.
This is Charles Osgood. I live in New York City, where you walk everywhere all year long. And when you're outside that much, you need more than just sunscreen or regular sunglasses. You need polarized prescription sunglasses with Experio UV lenses. They eliminate 100% of the sun's blinding reflective glare, and they offer maximum UV protection so you can see clearly and your eyes are protected. Ask your eye care professional about Experio UV Superior Polarized Sun Lenses. It's the best vision under the sun.
Health Talk with Dr. Bob Martin, Sunday mornings on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
I love live radio, don't you? We were just on the phone getting our next segment ready to go, and on the telephone with us right now is Jamie Kate, and she is going to be talking to us about the coronation tonight for the Strawberry Queen and her court. So, Jamie, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So tell me what's going to be happening, where it's going to be happening, and what's on tap for tonight.
Lots of stuff, but for starters, it is at the Lebanon High School auditorium, and it starts at 7 o'clock, and it does cost $3 to get in, but that includes the festival button and the strawberry shortcake reception afterwards, so I think it's a wonderful deal because everyone loves strawberry shortcake, right?
Oh, yeah. I got my fork ready.
You better. You can go back for seconds, too.
There you go. Do I have to bring my own whipped cream?
I don't think so. I think they supply that.
Oh, good.
So you're in luck.
Okay. So tonight, are the girls going to be judged? For those of us who haven't attended the coronation event, what happens?
Well, before the actual coronation event, they will go through their final round of interviews. We'll be kicking off here pretty soon, actually, about 3:30 this afternoon. We'll put them through their paces with their interviews. And then they'll show up at coronation, and they will get judged at the coronation, too, where everyone can be watching, and they will make their formal presentation with their fathers, and we'll be looking at their poise and grace on stage, and then we make them do the nerve-wracking answering of an impromptu question. So they will be put through their paces for sure, but it's all in good fun.
There you go. Are they judged on the form and eating strawberries, or does that not enter into the competition?
You know, I've been trying to get them to add this into the judging criteria for years, but no one's going for it. So
you have to hold the pinky just right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an art form.
There you go. It's exciting for the girls. What do they do after they're crowned on the court? What are their duties?
The queen reigns over the festival, and so they will continue several appearances. Right off the bat, on tomorrow morning, we're going to be at the story time at the Lebanon Library, and then the queen has to be a special judge in the junior parade and the grand parade. We get the court busy judging during the junior parade. Usually try and involve the court a lot out at the festival site and different things. They have to go judge at the flower show, so we keep them busy.
All righty. Tell me again that the location's $3 and the time and place again for tonight's coronation.
It is at the Lebanon High School auditorium, and it starts at 7 o'clock.
Okay, anything you'd like to add?
There will be a wonderful dress display afterwards. We have almost 30 dresses dating back to 1930 for all the historical buffs out there. It should be a lot of fun to see that. And it should just be a wonderful night. Hopefully everything goes well.
And Bobby's doing her Sundance, so I know your event is inside, correct?
It is. I'm lucky. I don't have to worry about the weather.
She might be outside doing her Sundance for the parade Saturday. She said she's going to keep doing that.
She needs to keep doing that one for sure.
There you go. Well, thank you for all you do for the Strawberry Festival and the Strawberry Court and the coronation for tonight.
Yes. I hope to see everyone there.
Hope to see you there as well. Jamie, Kate, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk.
Thank you for having me.
And next segment of the show, actually I have a couple more segments if we have time for it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about on the program today was some of the things that are faced kids in school. This case involving the arrest of Grant Accord, for apparently plotting a bombing attack on Albany Schools. We put a call out here at Valley Talk to counselors, and we called the American Psychiatric Association and some other organizations. One of the things that's really encouraging to me is we have gotten people almost lined up wanting to talk on the program today about issues kids are facing, how we can help, and signs to look for. So we're going to be talking to a gentleman by the name of Daryl Sampson here in just a moment on Valley Talk, and we're going to be talking about kids and violence in schools, what's being done, how we can help as a society, and some of the signs to look for, and we'll see where the conversation goes. This is Valley Talk. If the Valley's talking about it, we want to talk about it, and we're going to be doing that here in just a moment.
In some workplaces, they stand around the water cooler and talk about anything and everything. But then there's the workplaces where they talk about the water cooler, like the pure water dispenser from Macro Solutions in Scio. No deliveries, no stacking, just a push of a button for hot or cold water at your convenience. Get your office something to talk about around the water cooler at purewater-coffee.com. The pure water dispenser from Macro Solutions in Scio. Call 1-800-537-5432. This is refreshing. Unleash summer at the Mid-Valley YMCA in Albany. Right now, you can have a YMCA 3-month summer membership for only $99 for all membership types, including families. Only $99 for a 3-month membership for all membership types, including families. Now at the Mid-Valley YMCA in Albany. Unleash summer. Call 541-926-4488 now or log on to ymcaalbany.org.
Summer's almost here. Do you have a plan for your child? This summer, adventures abound with the Boys and Girls Club of the Greater Sandy M. Trips to Newport, Splash, Foster Lake, OMSI, and more. Plus athletic camps for soccer, volleyball, and basketball. Tons of fun and a professionally supervised, safe, and engaging atmosphere is available for your 1st through 8th grader. Any day of the week, we're here to serve. Call 541-258-7105. To learn more, visit us at bgcgreatersantm.org.
Here's an event that could change your quality of life. Sandy M Physical Therapy is celebrating 10 years in Lebanon today. And you're invited to see their state-of-the-art facilities and experience a free consultation from Sandy M's caring staff. Free refreshments and door prices are all part of the fun. You do have a choice in the care you receive, and you'll see and feel the difference this afternoon between 4 and 7. Your health, your body, your choice. Sandy M Physical Therapy near the bridge on East Grant Street in Lebanon.
It starts Friday, the giant Albany New Car Dealer 72-hour car and truck sale at the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, just off I-5, exit 234 in Albany. The Albany New Car Dealers are moving their inventory to the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, where hundreds and hundreds of new and used cars and trucks will be on sale. All at the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center this Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. and Sunday 10 till 5 p.m. During the sale, Central Willamette Community Credit Union is offering interest rates as low as 1.99% APR. Loan officers will be on site throughout the sale. See the ads in this week's Albany Democrat, Herald, and Corvallis Gazette Times for full details. The huge 72-hour car and truck sale at the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, just off I-5, exit 234 in Albany. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only. Annual percentage rates, APR, are fixed and are available only for autos purchased from participating dealers on May 31st, June 1st, and 2nd. Credit requirements apply. The APR range is 1.99% to 11% with auto pay. Actual APR is based on qualifications and other pricing factors. No payments for the first 90 days. Interest rate accrues from the date of the loan.
Radio for the Mid-Valley's horse lovers, The Horse Show with Rick Lamb, Sunday mornings at 9 on Smart Talk 1580.
Welcome back to Valley Talk, and like I said before we took the break, one of the things that really has impressed me this morning is we put a call out to a couple of organizations, the American School Counselors and also the American Psychiatric Association, and we've had a number of replies from both those organizations telling me that, you know, when kids need help and when we need to talk about issues like kids in crisis and violence in schools, that there are people that are engaging with the problem and trying to make a difference. And one of those folks is on the phone right now. He is Daryl Sampson. Is he a counselor in Lorton, Virginia? And Daryl, how's the weather in Virginia?
It's very hot out here right now, very hot and humid, one of our first big summer days.
Well, what the situation here in Albany was there was a 17-year-old man who was arrested. Someone apparently overheard him talking about attacking the school with bombs. The young man was arrested. Police investigated his home and found 6 bombs that had been constructed. They were apparently hidden under the flooring of his bedroom. A youth has been arrested facing charges, and the school is still in session. But there's a lot of people that are kind of nervous. There are more police officers, of course, at the school here locally. One of the things that you and I were talking about during the break, it's just amazing to me about how culture has changed. I'm 53 years old. When I was in high school, the biggest fear you had was getting caught, drinking a beer in the locker room or smoking a cigarette. And now what kids are worried about is, are they going to survive the school day, or is somebody going to come in and start shooting? That's a tragic statement on what's happened to society. What's going on with our kids today? What's happened? How did we get off the rails?
Well, Well, I think that certainly today, I think that a lot of kids feel a great deal more pressure. What I think one of the biggest changes that I've observed in my time is that the school day doesn't stop at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whenever the children in that particular school get out. Rather, it seems to continue on sort of online, social media, and things like that, so that it really sort of begins to permeate an entire kid's life all day long.
So it doesn't stop at 3 o'clock. It continues on with Twitter and so on and so forth. We've heard a number of instances nationwide where young men, young women especially, have committed suicide because of inappropriate photos that were shared with them on cell phones and so on and so forth. How do we as parents try to prevent this from happening?
Well, I think that in terms of both the bullying and the victimization of students, using social media, as well as students who are, maybe at risk of doing something damaging or violent to a school, I think one of the key things is for parents to be involved with their kids and with their kids' lives as much as possible. It can be a very big challenge because we know that developmentally, students as they're in middle school and high school are really trying to, become their own person and don't want to share as much about their lives. But it is at those moments that I think it's really important for parents to set some limits with them and say, I appreciate that you want to be able to have this time, but there are also things that, I'm going to ask you questions about your day, and I'm going to want to know who you're going out with and kind of what you're doing. And a lot of parents with the social media will, keep an eye on their kids' Twitter feed and their Facebook as well, just so that they're engaged and kind of have an idea of what's going on. So they're both allowing their child to explore and develop their sense of identity and their individual self, and at the same time are there to kind of step in and have a conversation if they need to at some point, or help to quell something that might be bubbling up through one of those outlets.
Parents might be listening and they might be trying to do this, but the kid is saying, "Oh, Dad, come on, can I have some freedom here?" And they're wanting some freedom. But Mom and Dad are saying, "You know what, Johnny or Susie, I care about you, and I want you to be safe, and I'm caring about who you're hanging out with."
Right.
If there's a lot of pushback from the kids, how should parents handle that?
Well, ultimately, parents are parents, and it is, you are the one who is responsible for your child, and it is, adolescence is very tough for both the kids and the parents, and a lot of what I talk about with families is there is a lot of give and take going on, in that the kids are going to push back, and sometimes you're going to push back with them. Sometimes you're going to give them a little bit of freedom and see how they do, knowing that if things don't go well, that you're going to need to step back in. And sometimes parents can simply say that. Maybe they make a deal with the student and say, I think, okay, we're going to allow this for now, but if X, Y, or Z happens, or if we see grades slip, or we become concerned about something, we are going to, come back in and be a little bit tighter than we've been, and that's going to be the deal going forward. But then also sticking with that, if that's what they end up doing.
What's the biggest challenges for kids? Are we seeing a lot of disengagement from parents? I know parents are very busy, multiple jobs. If parents show that they really don't care about what's going on in their kids, that's a big mistake and can really cause problems, can it?
Well, it is. It's important to note that risk factors are not direct causes of things like youth violence or bullying behavior, but they can contribute, and the lack of parent involvement can be one of them, but there are many others that are also in there, such as mental illness in the student, a history of family violence, early aggressive behavior. If the kid themselves seems to be fairly withdrawn from their families and from, school and from friends and from any adult, that's also another risk factor to be concerned about.
So let's talk about students at school. Let's say there's a student that's being picked on, being bullied. As kids can sometimes be somewhat cruel, and they have a tendency to pick on kids that are easy to pick on because maybe there's something, maybe they stutter, maybe there's something about the kid that they stand out, and they're an easy target. What about other kids in the student body? They should reach out to this poor kid and be a friend?
Well, that is the hope. Part of our job as educators, and certainly one of our jobs as school counselors, is to work with the entire school and the entire school population to help educate students sort of on the different roles in bullying, and to include even those kids that just stand idly by and do nothing, that they do have a role and some culpability if a student is bullied and they choose not to intervene in any way. Our hope is that by sharing with kids and working with them to educate them on the roles of bullying, the consequences of bullying, and trying to teach them some ability to have empathy for other students, that they will then feel more comfortable stepping up for those kids, as well as reaching out to other students who maybe aren't quite like them, or who seem to be getting picked on by a lot of their peers.
What's the biggest challenge facing kids today in school generally?
Oh my gosh, there are so many.
Pick one or two.
One or two. I think for a lot of them, I think the nonstop social media is a challenge, because I think either the kids feel like there are always people watching them, or that there's always a pressure to post something or share something, that they can never really get away from it. And I think that's, even if things are all going very well, sometimes I think there's a pressure for some of them to feel like they have to be engaged all the time in order to be able to keep up. I think other pressures are, there are a lot of academic pressures for students, as college admissions becomes more competitive. In this particular economy, I think for at least a certain subset of our students, there's a lot of pressure to succeed and do well on a regular basis.
Warning signs that teachers, other students, parents can look out for. We've mentioned some of those earlier in our interview, but let's recap some of those. What should, in this particular case, we're not going to talk about this particular case in general at the West Albany, Oregon schools, but generally, what should we look for?
Well, I think it is important to bring that case in because, it sounds like from what I was reading in the AP story, it sounds like some students somewhere heard something and eventually brought that attention, and I think that's
correct.
That's something that we really have to encourage our young people to do, and that's why it's important for them to feel like they have relationships with adults. That's important. It's a reason why it's important for there to be school counselors, so that when they hear of something that does not feel right, that does not sound right, i.e., I'm making bombs, that they feel comfortable finding some adult, whether it's their parents or whether it's a school counselor or whether it's a teacher, and letting somebody know, because that information can literally save lives. I think other things that we should be looking for, again, within schools, sometimes students who have a history of mental illness, there's a history of family violence. If students are posting or saying odd things, either through, social media or to their peers or to teachers, even offhand in class, in this day and age, it may be worth, if a teacher overhears something, bringing that to the attention of a student services professional or an administrator, so that they can at least have a conversation with that student to flush that out a little bit. We always worry a lot about our kids that seem to have no connection to school, to family, to any adults, because one of the things that really sort of fosters resiliency is for students to have a connection to at least one person in their lives, and to at least one adult, hopefully within the school and at home.
And friendships with other students.
Yes, friendships with other students, and positive friendships, not friendships that have a power differential, but where friendships where the students, are more on an equal footing and giving and receiving benefits to that friendship on both ends.
One of the things that we've been involved in I was a pastor for a couple of years before I came here, is one thing that I would like to see is more mentoring relationships, reaching out to maybe kids that don't have good adult role models, that that you can speak into these kids' lives. What do you think about that as an option? In some cases, obviously, if there's issues of mental illness, then there needs to be some other things brought to bear.
Right.
But if that's not the case, reaching out and being a good role model and being a voice in a kid's life that possibly might turn them down the right way instead of the wrong way.
Right, and that mentor, sort of going along with what you just said, that mentor can really give them an outlet to share their thoughts, share their feelings, and give them some perspective. I think the mentoring is very important, and whether that be somebody within the school or another adult that comes in can be very important. It's another reason why you need to have school counselors in schools in ratios that are really reasonable, because we are able to, with reasonable ratios, be able to get to know our kids on a basis as such that they feel comfortable coming and speaking to us, and that we can sort of begin to see if something's not right. We can then have the time and the ability to really intervene with those students and develop a plan moving forward to assist them, before we get to a point where things have really gone downhill.
Video games, what do you think about that? People have brought that up as a possibility. It tends to desensitize. Some argue that it tends to desensitize people, and I won't mention any of the games by name, but some of the games are pretty graphic. It seems like the video quality of the games, some of them are almost lifelike, and the blood spurting and so on and so forth. And then all of the coverage of the school shootings can desensitize people. But talking about video games, particularly the violent video games, you think that has something to do with this?
It's really hard to say. I think that, as you said, as these video games become more real, and the media coverage of some of these events becomes more and more prolific, I think certainly research will probably be done to sort of see if there are some direct or even indirect correlations to those games and a rise in violence. I think what continues to be more important is basic understandings of right and wrong that are really taught to kids, either, hopefully both at home and within school. So that even if a kid is engaging in a video game, that they understand that it is fantasy and not something to be emulated, within their regular lives.
Closing thoughts. We're about 2 minutes left to go on the end of the show. Lorton, Virginia, how large a town is that? Do you have a big school that you work in, or is it a smaller school?
I work in a school of about 2,100 high school students. So it depends on where you're at in the country. I know there are schools that are larger than we are.
It's all perspective.
But this is a pretty large high school.
What are the big challenges in Virginia? Is it jobs, or what's pushing the button there?
I think certainly in the northern Virginia, we're just outside of Washington, D.C., and so this is an area that is very busy and very focused on upward mobility and career and college and things like that. So I feel like our kids especially tend to be have a lot of pressure from many different sources to really succeed, to do well, to go to college, to land that perfect job. That's one of the major things that our kids tend to work with.
We're coming to the end of the show. Daryl Sampson, I know you're very busy. Thank you and all the others that responded to our query for somebody to be on the show to talk about this issue of school and violence in kids. So thank you for all you do, and keep up the good work.
Great. It was great to speak with you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
And from Lorton, Virginia, an American school counselor, Daryl Sampson, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk today. We didn't get to gas prices, but we'll post a special program on the website, KGAL.com. We had to talk with Marie Dodds about what's going on with gas prices. We'll post that online at KGAL.com. I'm Dave Adams. Make it a great day.
Locally owned and operated, this is the very independent News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.